Hi, I'm Jason Page, and welcome to Hartford Colonials Kickoff for Week 4 of this UFL season. We're bringing you the show this week from the Colonials practice facility at Sage Park in Berlin. Week 4, a big matchup for the Colonials. They're going to be taking on the Florida Tuskers, coached by Jay Gruden and led on the field by quarterback Brooks Bollinger. Tons of NFL experience there. Now, Week 3, the Colonials were off, but the rest of the UFL was not. Sacramento and Omaha meeting up in a great matchup at Rosenblatt Stadium. A couple of former NFL QBs, Jeff Garcia and Dante Culpepper, locking horns. Let's check out the highlights.
The big star stepped up with key plays as we take a look at the action in this. And this is action in the second quarter and a safety for Dante Culpepper, who was backed up after an interception at the 1 yard line. Actually turned out to not be a blessing for them.
Yeah, but you know, the thing about it is neither one of these teams really let down at all. This is Darling on a screen to the outside, flanker screen, and this started the scoring as far as touchdowns were concerned.
Then the action really starts heating up. Here we go. Tay Biddle stretching, catching, great pass by Culpepper. And Sacramento has their first lead in the game.
And this play right here is just absolutely phenomenal. Coutier is a tight end, and Garcia waited and waited and waited until he got himself free and then hit him for the go-ahead touchdown.
And then it came down to this. This was the game. Fabricio Scazia, who had a 54-yarder last week, misses wide to the right. Plenty of leg, but no accuracy there. And that was the ball game. Again, you look at the numbers there and the rushing totals, they're just not leaping out on either side, are they?
Yeah, no, and you know, you go down to the right from the bottom, one from the bottom on the side of Omaha, and look at those penalties, 11 of them for almost 100 yards. That's what really hurt this football team. They were really lucky to win this ball game.
This week on Hartford Colonials Kickoff, we'll chat with the head coach, Chris Palmer. What did he do during his bye week? And how's he getting the Colonials prepared for a big Week 4 showdown against Jay Gruden's Florida Tuskers? A lot of planning to do with Brooks Bollinger at the helm. We'll also chat with Lorenzo Booker, the former Florida State standout, also played in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins. What's it like being the Lightning to Andre Dixon's Thunder? All that and much more coming up as we continue from Sage Park. It's Hartford Colonials Kickoff.
You stop!
Hartford Colonials Kickoff continues with the head coach of the team, Chris Palmer. All right, Coach, what'd you do in a bye week?
Well, I thought a lot of football, watched some games. You know, you're always looking to improve yourself. And, you know, I thought about some players, whether we're going to make some changes with some players. Also thought about, you know, how can we improve, you know, things like that. And just trying to look at this month of October. You know, we got 4 games before we go on a bye week again, and how important this is for us. And you always worry when your players are away whether they're going to come back and they're going to be on time, and everybody was on time and back.
Now, I know some players did some volunteering, some charity work, things like that. What'd you personally do during your time away?
I went and I did a couple of things as far as trying to get sell some tickets for the games. Did some things like that. I did some interviews, trying to promote the league. Those were the things that I did. And then I went up to the Cape to spend some time with my wife and grandkids, which was always fun. And we had good weather on the Cape.
Isn't it remarkable right now how much great publicity this league seems to be receiving?
The interesting thing, you know, you start thinking football. We've played 6 games. 5 of the 6 have been decided by 7 points or less. So, and of those 5, 3 of them were less than 3 points. So there was a 17-point game where we won. Then there was a 7, 2 3s, a 1, and a 4. So the competition is tremendous. There's parity within the league, and you got to come and play your best football every week.
Time always changes perspective on things. You had an extra week off. Does it change your view on this team, and even more so some of the strategies you're employing?
No, I still like this team very much. I like the players. I like what they're doing. I like how we work. We talked about it a little bit this morning about what was going on. And, we're looking forward to this month of October.
On to your Week 4 opponent, the Florida Tuskers, coached by Jay Gruden. We all know what a good quarterback Brooks Bollinger still is. How do you contain them?
Well, they're a good football team. Last year they had a tremendous season. They were undefeated and lost in the playoff game. And when you look at it, Jay's running the same offense that his brother John ran at Tampa Bay. And Chuck Bresnahan, their defensive coordinator, is running the same defense he ran when he was at Cincinnati. So our players will have some carryover. The guys that have played in the National Football League will have some carryover having played against teams like that. The interesting thing is going into the game Saturday night, 50 of the 52 players they have NFL experience.
You've added Kevin Jones at running back. We all know about his abilities. Now you got a three-headed monster in the backfield with Dixon, Booker, and Kevin Jones. How do you get them all playing time?
Well, Kevin, we've got to be careful with. These guys have been in camp for a while, and now, we've got to bring him along slowly. And, he's not going to get as many carries as the other guys because the other guys are farther along. They're in better conditioning. They're in football conditioning. But Kevin will get some touches, and we'll see what he can do.
We've seen the great crowds around the league. Just look at Rosenblatt Stadium for their first 2 games in Omaha. How important is it to have a better crowd for Game 2 than you had for Game 1 at Rentschler Field?
Well, I know my wife took 10 calls over the weekend for people looking for tickets, so that was a good sign when they're calling all the way up to Cape Cod trying to get tickets. It's hard to say because this is Columbus Day weekend. Are people going to go away? I think if it's a beautiful day, we'll get a great walk-up crowd, and I'm looking forward to a solid crowd.
Coach, always good to spend some time with you.
Thank you.
Got a couple of good blocks, first down and more. Booker into the open field. Booker is going to go all the way for a Hartford touchdown.
Hartford Colonials Kickoff continues from Sage Park, joined by one of the running backs for this team. It seems like there's about 20 of you now. Lorenzo Booker giving us a few minutes. How you doing?
Good. It's a little cold, but not at all. I'm used to it.
All right. Now you got Andre Dixon. You got you. You've added Kevin Jones to the mix. You got to like that.
Got to. Anytime you can run the ball, it enables you to do anything you want for the most part. And Josh is a heck of a quarterback, so if we can get those safeties and those linebackers taking a few steps up before they drop back into pass coverage, it's just going to make everybody's job easy.
What's the mentality of a team when you go into a bye week on a loss and you have to kind of stew in that for a couple of weeks?
Well, it sucks to go into a normal game week on a loss, let alone an extra week with a lot of downtime to think about it. And, we know what we're capable of, and everybody in the league does at this point, especially from an offensive standpoint. And, we basically gave them the game. I mean, I'm not cheating them. I'm cheating us. If we play our game, nobody is capable of beating us. And we didn't do that in the second half. And, we ended up losing by points. So it's funny, you should have been in the locker room. Nobody even wanted to take their pads off. At the very least, we should have been getting ready to play overtime. And so we've had to sit on that for a week, and everybody's out here and ready to get after it.
We know about the relationship between Josh McCown playing the mentor role to Ryan Prelu. You're having the same opportunity to do that same sort of thing with Andre Dixon right now. Talk about the relationship between you and Andre and how that continues to evolve.
Well, I remember watching Andre for the first time when he scored the game winner against Notre Dame, and I got a chance to watch that whole game, and he played pretty well. My cousin Terrell Lambert was at Notre Dame at the time, so obviously I was rooting for ND, but he jumped out on the tape, and I've watched him ever since then. And running back is an instinctual position. So with that being said, there's not much that you can teach a guy. Either he has it or he doesn't, and Andre definitely has it. So, I've had the opportunity to try to help him fine-tune the little things about his game. Catching the ball, being more versatile in terms of being in space, because everybody knows he can run downhill. But, the more you can do and the more options he'll have when this thing is over with. And, then we just go and add Kevin Jones. So now we both have somebody that we can learn from because he's got more years in the league than me. So, Andre's getting it twice as hard now.
We hear about the NFL experienced guys who come into this league and being kind of humbled and coming in here and having an opportunity to work their way back into the league. Does it make you appreciate it a lot more?
You know what? Humbled would be a different word. I think humbled only matters if you think you're too good to play somewhere. But the fact of the matter is, anybody who's ever been in the league knows it's a business. It's almost a business in college. Anytime, your coaches or players are making, 6 figures, it's not a game anymore. I mean, it is, but it's a business first. And so with that being said, I mean, there's 32 teams. I mean, your resume is what you put out there on tape. And nowadays, the game is not designed for you to stay in one place. And that's a good thing from a personal standpoint. It's a bad thing because you're having to go here or there. And so it really makes you mentally tough if you're going to stay there. It's never personal. And that's the first thing that I tell rookies. I told Deshaun when he was sleeping on my couch in Philly when he first got there, this is your job now, and you have to approach that as such. And as long as you do that and you understand that, then no matter what happens, it won't wear on you, because it's never personal. I don't need anybody to validate me. I understand that there's some things that I needed to put out there on my resume, and I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, I know what kind of player I am, and at the end of the day, they will too.
Last one. How good is this team and how far can it go?
This team is great, and anything less than a championship will be a letdown. I mean, we figured that during camp, and the last 2 games have not only proven it to us, but it's proven it to everybody else. If we don't win it, then it's a letdown, period.
Good luck against the Tuskers.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Hartford Colonials Kickoff is all about access. We like to take you inside the team in a way you really don't get an opportunity to do. This week, I want to get on the field with Taylor Melhoff. Who's Taylor Melhoff? He's the kicker for this Colonials team, handles extra points and field goals. Now, we all watch football on Sundays, Saturdays, UFL, NFL, college football, and what do we always see? The kicker sitting on the sideline, comes in, kicks a couple extra points, a couple of chip shot field goals, and we all think, we can do that, right? Well, I'm going to try and do it this week with Taylor. We'll find out how difficult it really is. Wish me luck.
Get loose. Oh, my God. Jason's got the Reebok Zig Tex on, so I think he'll be in good shape here. He's getting warm, he's getting loose. I think he's got a little wind at his back. I think he'll be all right.
Normally kickers are athletes, and we're trying to prove the exception to the rule here right now.
Do you think you're able to teach someone like this?
Yeah, we'll be able to get at least we'll be able to kick a short one. I don't know about a longer one, but like I said, he got a little wind at his back. As long as he can get the ball up in the air, we'll be all right.
You think it's easy?
It is!
Everybody thinks it's
John
easy.
Carney, 46. John Casey's 40. All these old men can kick it. I can kick it.
Okay. You know what they say, the less you say, the less you have to take back.
You ready to roll? Let's do this.
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
All right.
Time to go kick some field
We're
goals.
going to go kick some field goals here.
All right. The most important thing about kicking is being good with your eyes, okay?
Okay. Let's start extra point range.
Okay. This is going to be easy for you because there's no snap and a hold.
Right.
In football, you get a snap and a hold, it comes back, you have to get the ball off in 1.3 seconds, all right? But you get to sit here and stare at the ball the whole time, so you can just kick it right through.
Okay.
All right? So you're
All
ready,
right, so,
you ready to
so
roll?
the official Taylor Melhoff prediction.
You'll
Can I make 1 and 5?
You'll make 1 and 5.
I can make 1 and
You'll
5.
make 1 and 5.
All right.
All right?
All right.
Let's do this.
There we go. Is this about a good spot to
That's
stand?
about a good spot,
All
yeah.
right, there we go.
Almost.
What
Almost.
the hell was that?
That's a good start. Hey, that's a good start. It's a good start. We're all right.
That was humbling.
I think the reason Jason missed this kick here is because he made a mistake. He didn't actually check the wind, okay? So I think this one will be a lot closer. So here's what we need to do. You need to pick up a little leaf, throw it up, check the wind.
Why can't I get the ball off the ground? Okay. There we go.
Closer.
It's a good thing you can talk because you can't kick. All right?
This is embarrassing.
I tried to warn you.
I got 2 kicks left.
2 kicks left?
Yeah.
Can we get 1 off the ground?
I'm going to try.
Let's check the wind again.
Stop with the wind.
We got to check the wind. All right. Ah! Almost.
I'm 0 for 4. I've got 1 shot left at this. My respect for kickers like Taylor Melhoff here has grown immeasurably. Ah!
Closer.
Why can't I kick you in the air? I can't hit you here. I always hit you here.
I give up. I give up.
I'm pretty impressed though. I don't even know how to kick spirals on field goals. You know what? I think Jason and I would need to spend some more time just kind of honing his
Quality
skills.
time.
Just working on what he's doing. You know, I don't think he quite understands how to make contact with the ball yet. And where
That's a small thing. Small thing.
Where he's swinging. You know, I mean, he needs to get the ball up in the air a little bit here. And but you know, we'll figure it out. It takes a little time.
All right. So the lesson to be learned here: kicking field goals, extra points, is much harder than it looks on TV.
What did you do during your bye week?
It was great. I got to go home and spend time with my daughter that was born less than a week ago.
I flew down to Nashville and packed up my apartment down there and then drove back up here.
I went back home to Philly, so it was a good time. Wish it would have been longer.
It was great, but it's great to be back in Cromwell.
How's it to be back?
Feels okay to be back. It's a little colder than I wanted to be. Guy from the South, so these temperatures look foreign to me.
Did some lifting, and other than that, just getting the mind right for this week.
For many of you all who don't know, Connecticut is actually second best, the second highest producer of potatoes outside of Boise, Idaho. We have a superb display right here. We have the northeastern Connecticut spud potatoes. Here we have the southeastern Connecticut sweet potato. Going over to the west side of the state, the northwest Connecticut mashed potatoes. A little difference in the texture between the southeast and the northwest. And here we have, this is actually a hybrid sweet potato. It's not as sweet as the southwestern sweet potato, and it's a much creamier texture. It's what the Hartford Colonials eat.
This week on Hartford Colonials Kickoff, we get an opportunity to meet some of the Hartford Colonial cheerleaders. Let's take a step inside their world and find out how their inaugural season is going.
One more. Great, thank you.
Well, we're all kind of new to the poster shoot. We did a brief poster shoot in the beginning of the year. The last time it was really fun, so I'm sure it will be a great time today. I'm not sure if they're planning on printing it and making it into a full-size poster to sell, but I'm sure they have some plans in store for us.
We are part of history, and to be part of Connecticut's first professional football league is just really exciting and new and refreshing.
I've cheered since I was 7 years old in youth football in my town.
This is actually my first experience ever cheerleading. I was a dancer for 23 years of my life. I've cheered in college for UMass Dartmouth, and then I opened up my own all-star cheer and dance gym.
I've never cheered before prior to this experience. I've just been a dancer my whole life. So this is a new page for me, and it's been great so far.
1, 2, 3. It's called a part-time job, but it becomes a full-time job. We have practice 3 times a week, and then aside from our scheduled practices, we have practices individually. We have to rehearse routines, cheers, and then on the side of that, we have promotions to do for the team, for the cheerleaders. We are just as much as athletes as the football players. In fact, we go to the gym several times during the week. We lift weights, we do cardio work.
Leanne is, she spends a lot of her time on her head upside down. She could stay there for probably hours. She's really strong, and I'm determined to have her teach me how to do a headstand.
Is this true? This is true. I love being on my head. I don't know why, but if it's head spinning, I'll be head spinning, and any chance I get.
Touchdown! Touchdown! We won Hartford touchdown! Go Colonials!
Michael Spicer, New York Sentinels, defensive end.
Tank Daniels, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars,
and I play linebacker.
Julius Williams, Jacksonville Jaguars, defensive end.
Adrian Grady, New England Patriots. I play defensive tackle.
We all come from different backgrounds. Some guys coming from college, arena, and now, you know, in a professional league, and just all being grouped together real quick. I think it's pretty neat.
The camaraderie, you know what I'm saying, with the teammates.
You know, going out and competing and trying to beat another group of guys, and the friendships and the bonds that you make.
I think it's brought my game to a different level just because of the talent that we have, you know, in practice. So when we get to the game, it kind of feels easy.
I love the game. I like to play. So regardless of the level I'm on, I mean, I go out there and give my best. I enjoy what I'm doing.
I'm just trying to be a part of the defense that leads the league, you know, be the number one defense. Just playing my heart out.
Every play, every time I step on the field, 100%.
Just doing whatever I can to help the team win.
Do you aspire to get back into the NFL?
Not really. Not really. I like playing more than I care for the whole NFL business side. This is very important. This is what I do. This is this is football.
And that's going to put the wraps on this Week 4 edition of Hartford Colonials Kickoff. Thanks to head coach Chris Palmer for stopping by, Lorenzo Booker, Taylor Melhoff, and the Hartford Colonial cheerleaders. If you want to come and check out the Colonials at Rentschler Field, all you got to do is go to the web, get ticket information, hartfordcolonials.com. I'm Jason Page. We'll catch you next week on Hartford Colonials Kickoff.